Hello, I'm Susan Graham, here with the Australian Chamber Orchestra, and you're watching The Music Show on ABC RN.
Let us move right into talking about singing in French, because that is, I guess, what you're most famous for. People say that's a hard language to sing in. Have you found that ever?
For me, no, but I think that for some people, the way that their voice is pitched in timbre and color and production. There are some people who are very at home in Italian music. I mean, everybody sort of feels good singing Italian because that's kind of where it was all born. But the French language for me has always just sat really well in my throat and in my resonance spaces, in my imagination.
Yes.
I didn't get to go there till I was 30 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the first time I saw that Eiffel Tower, I burst into tears and I thought, this feels like home for some strange reason. I don't know, maybe a former life.
Maybe. Why is it supposed to be hard then? Is it because the nasal sound?
It's a difficult language to master anyway, because we as English speakers, we say that a word sounds like it looks. Now, that isn't always true, because
Certainly
we have
not.
that pesky OUGH thing that can sound, 15 different ways. But you can have a word in French with 12 letters and it sounds like, because there are so many silent letters. There's so many peccadillos of the language. It can be intimidating.
Yeah.
And the subtle changes of the vowel sounds can be daunting for speakers and singers who are not natives. Once you get your roadmap through the language, and fortunately I had a couple of really brilliant language coaches, Nico Castel at the Metropolitan Opera, who unfortunately just passed away recently, and Denise Massé, who is very much alive and well and still with us. She basically was with me on every French recording that I ever did, every French role that I learned, every French concert piece that I studied. She was my French policewoman.
I guess the fact that you have to purse your lips to speak a lot of French, that's not good for singing, really, is it?
Who says you have to purse your lips?
Maybe you don't.
And maybe my background in Texas, where we all do speak with kind of a nasal twang, maybe that informs the nasality of un peu de français.
It's suddenly completely clear.
Yeah.
There are schools of pronunciation, though, aren't there, among singers? There are singers who do the kind of French R at the back of the throat.
The guttural.
And then there are singers, including French singers, who roll the R at the front.
On the front, and in the Italian way. We were always taught that for projection purposes, it's best to do it in the front. Roll it like this. Reviens, reviens, as opposed to reviens, reviens. Also, it places the vowel that follows that R in a much more frontal resonance, therefore a desirable resonance.
Yes. And a word before we finish about Respighi, Shelley in Italian.
Right? Dense word painting, especially in the first part of it, when he's telling all of the different aspects of this walk through the forest and the shadows and the leaves and the skies and the light and the forest floor. And then it gets into pretty straightforward storytelling. I mean, it's this young couple who have gone into the forest, and the young man says, I've never really seen the sunrise. Why don't we stay out here all night and catch the first light? And then they stay out there all night. And the little musical interlude is a storytelling of them staying out there all night, which in our rehearsals has been interesting to discuss with the string quartet.
How they're keeping themselves awake.
Got to stay up till sunrise. But unfortunately, sadly, spoiler alert, the young man sort of wakes up dead in the morning. We don't know why, but his beloved finds him there, and then the rest of the piece is her lifelong grief and how the gods were too cruel to take her in death as well. So she's forced to continue her life on without him.
Yes, it's a sort of Erwartung moment, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah.
Susan Graham, it's been an enormous pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for coming on the Music Show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.